What is good, everybody? Hope you guys are having a great start to your week. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, guys. All right. How's everybody's week so far? I know it was a little bit of an interesting start. Had a really nice trade-off open today. What's up, Eddie? Had a really nice trade-off open today on NVIDIA. We actually took it on this 931 candle here. Ended up being actually a pretty crazy percentage trade here. We scaled at a half at basically peak of this candle for around 50% profit, and then we sold the rest break even on this 932 candle. Now, I did try a bounce here on NVIDIA, kept a very small stop loss on that, and I am a little bit red for the day, but my initial position, I honestly did not even realize how light I was in this trade. Like, I literally was only in this trade with a 2K position, but I had 40 contracts, and I was like, I just didn't look at the contract price, I guess, close enough. But either way, it was super, super light position, and really the main reason I ended up red on the day is because of that initial position sizing. But either way, could have stuck around, could have had a really nice clean play to the downside on NVIDIA as well, but I really didn't want to sit and mess with it knowing Powell was speaking at 10:30. So the less interaction I can have with the market while Mr. Powell is speaking, the better. So yeah, I'm not disappointed with the execution today. Like I said, we definitely could have sat around and made that back and had a nice green day here, but I just didn't want to mess with it. I'm looking here, like Tesla low of day could have been a nice little scalp as well. Really wouldn't have taken anything to make us green overall. And I know a lot of you guys actually did end up taking full profits on that as well. I'm down 378 for the day, so it's like not the end of the world. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start it off here by saying, quick plug, I have to do it at the beginning and the end. Sorry. If you are not in the floor and you want to trade live with me and the team, click the link in the description, or I have it in this pinned message right here, which I just realized I could do. Now, we will go ahead and get into the charting here. We're going to go through my watch list from A to Z, see what I'm liking for tomorrow, see what I'm not liking, and yeah, we're going to have time afterwards for a Q&A as well. So if you guys have any trading questions, whether it's psychology, whether it's technicals, whether it is absolute complete basics, feel free to load up those questions and get ready to ask. But like I said, we will go through here and just see. I want to see first off what news we have. I don't believe we have anything crazy tomorrow. Oh, we have Chicago PMI and consumer confidence, 9:45 and 10. So that actually is something we definitely want to be paying attention to. We also have JOLTS at 10. So, okay. I guess tomorrow is actually really the rest of the week. Thursday is the only day that we don't have anything. Thursday is the only day that we don't have anything at all. We have natural gas on Thursday, but that doesn't really affect us too much. But yeah, Chicago PMI, consumer confidence, and JOLTS. PMI is at 9:45. Consumer confidence and JOLTS are at 10. Wednesday, we have PMI manufacturing final at 9:45. ISM manufacturing index at 10. Business inventories at 10 as well. So once again, that 9:45 news, I actually really like that, because if we don't get the move we're looking for off open, it basically gives us another chance to have that same kind of opening volume, just 15 minutes into market open. So we don't have to sit around and wait all day for a second chance, basically. Weirdly enough, his speech today was just speaking at Harvard to a bunch of kids, so nothing about the market. Fantastic, Eddie. I love knowing that information now that I walked away and basically treated it like it was an FOMC day here. Let's see. I didn't really love anything on Apple. I did look. Obviously, we do have this support level that we're looking at here at 240. What is this? 245.18. So you guys already know I'm not a big fan of trading Apple anyways. So anything that I can say or do to get away from trading this stock, I will do. This is not a terrible setup if you guys like trading Apple. However, it's not a good enough setup for me to trade Apple. Put it that way. Airbnb is coming down here to a nice support at 122, but this thing literally never has volume, so we can't do anything with that. I need to just condense my watch list down to only stocks that have consistent volume, but honestly, I feel like some of these stocks are my babies. I've made a lot of money off of these stocks that no longer have any volume. So it almost feels wrong to get rid of them, but it is what it is. We're going to have to do it eventually. AMD coming down here to 192.83, which is actually a super nice looking level here. And then we've got another support just below this at 192.27. Below that, I actually have room pretty easily all the way down to 190. So that is actually pretty good looking, and I will be marking this for sure. Only thing I don't love is this 30-minute trend, but we will have more room on that 30-minute trend by open, so that is perfectly fine. Let's see here. Next up, Amazon. I have the same feelings about Amazon that I do about Apple, so I'm going to go ahead and just move on. AVGO coming down here pretty aggressively, but we don't really have anything that is super close. The next thing that I really have is 287.11. Let's see if we have anything intraday we can look at. Actually, kind of do here. AVGO spreads, the last time I traded this stock, were pretty wide. So that would be really the main thing that I would be worried about on this. I don't have anything right now that we can look at any earlier than 287.11, but I do like that 287.11 level. So I will be putting this on the watch list, probably as a side watch for now, but only because it's far away, or, you know, just not super close. BA, let's see, what was the volume like today? Basically non-existent. All right, moving on. BABA, 120.25 does not look bad. This thing's volume has really dropped off as well. That's crazy. I don't know why. I mean, obviously, the state of the economy as a whole is probably going to drain a little bit of volume from the market, but I feel like all of that volume has just completely shifted to really the big seven. So it's very interesting to me. Very interesting to me. And it didn't happen overnight. I mean, it's been happening over the past couple of years for sure. All these other stocks slowly losing contract volume, and that volume has obviously gone to pretty much the same places, but yeah, I mean, it started off as these contracts used to have consistent volume always, and then they started trailing off to the point where it only really had volume when we had good setups, which was fine because honestly, that was something else to look at and say, all right, we actually have contract volume today and we have a good looking setup. We're probably going to see this play out. Now it's to the point where there's pretty much no volume ever. So that is a little unfortunate, but it is what it is. We are still doing just fine, I would say. DDOG, I actually like this level, but once again, it is the volume that is the problem, not the setup, so can't really do anything there. I just know these charting streams are going to be like 5 minutes long by the time I actually condense this watch list down. Oh, did Google bounce off of 270? Oh, we never broke after hours. Okay. I guess we broke for 34 cents, but I'm not too worried about that. 270 on Google looks insane. I really like this. Really like this. That'd probably be my main watch out of all of these so far. Hood, we set a low after hours last night at 62.90, or sorry, we actually set that low last night at 63, but we have a daily support here at 62.92. I really like this as well. I wasn't going to be a fan today if we got it, just because obviously where we opened, that's going to be a pretty sizable move for Hood to get down there. And if we got down there early enough today where we could have traded it, then it would have been pretty extended. So that's why I wasn't looking at it today, but I do really like this setup, and that is definitely going on the watch list tonight as well. Hood is looking good. All right. Let's see here. INTC, I'm all good. Oak, I'm all good as well. Meta looks like this thing is ready to fall off a cliff tomorrow. The only problem is, are we going to have a solid point for entry? Let's see. So, I mean, obviously, we can look at the clear thing, which would be the low of day from today. Obviously, the safest setup here would be just looking at this 517.77 low, but I think that we have a lot of potential before then as well. So let's see. Do we have... We're about to break a support that we set after hours here. So I highly doubt that this is going to end up holding. We may end up just having to look at low of day from today. But we honestly didn't go anywhere, really. I mean, what? We opened at 536.38 and we closed at 536.38. Okay, we actually went nowhere. We went absolutely nowhere today. So that's actually super solid for us. If this thing starts getting aggressive to the downside tomorrow, it's got basically a whole day's worth of price action that we have cooped up and didn't go anywhere at all. So if we get aggressive off open tomorrow, I think we could see this thing tank like pretty quickly. It's kind of the same thing here though, but it did it after hours. So hopefully we can hold until then. But yeah, Meta's staying marked for sure. I do like this, and we'll probably just be looking at the low of day, but that is still fine. Let's see. Microsoft rejected off of a previous support. We ended up breaking, obviously, and then we ended up rejecting and coming back down. So Microsoft is looking really nice to the downside as well at this after hours low, 354.46. I could mark it at the right spot, please. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, 354.46 looks solid for Microsoft. And then below this, I've got a level here from somewhere. That's a super, super old level. Hold on. Okay. Obviously, this level was important enough for me to leave on the chart, so I'm actually still going to give that level a little bit of weight, but it's not looking like we have anything super clear right here. What I am going to do is I am going to mark out this little zone right here where we have wicked on the weekly previously, and that is not necessarily an indication that we are going to bounce again, but if we do start seeing hesitation in this area, I'm going to know that this is the same area where we saw hesitation before. That makes sense. I'm not necessarily trying to predict anything here or like guess that something is going to happen in this area, but I like to mark out levels that I want to remember why I have them, right? So if we start doing something weird, if buyers start stepping in and we start having a hard time actually selling off in this area, I'm going to also know this is the same spot that we wicked out of beforehand. So this is not necessarily something that I'm using. I'm not necessarily using this for any type of execution here. It's more just like a reminder that that is where we may end up seeing some struggles. So that's solid. I like it. Microsoft looks good. We'll go back through and actually make a full watch list for these guys, so I don't think I'm just marking these levels and moving on. MSTR looks... we broke this level already. Never mind. I'm going to say MSTR looks pretty solid, but... yeah, I think Next spot I'm going to be interested here for MSTR is down at 118.40, unless we have something. We don't really have anything crazy here right now. We may in the morning though, so wouldn't completely count this out. I'll keep it marked, but it's definitely going to be going on a side watch. MU absolutely dropped off a cliff today. We are coming down to some more support levels here. We've got a lot of levels around this 310 area. So 309.55, 308.80, 307.65. Those are all key levels that obviously you can't see now, but these are supports that we marked out back on the second day of 2026. So yeah, all right, those are all valid levels, and if we get down to them, I would not mind looking at the 310 break, playing it into these levels for targets. Right now, there's nothing nice enough after hours to really be making a full plan. So once again, this is going to have to go in the side watch for now, but tomorrow morning that can very, very easily change. So we'll just keep it as that. Nvidia broke a very important support here at 164.07, and we held below. We are holding below for now. Let's see, what is the next major thing here? The 180-day low is 162.02. Where is this from? Oh, that's an old resistance. All right. Okay, 162.02 is really our next major thing, I believe. Let me double check. Okay, yeah. 162.02 is our next major level here, and it's the 180-day low. I'm really going to leave this. Just see how we react. I like NVIDIA trade patterns. Look what I put in lessons. Let's see, Ray. Yeah, Ray. Yeah, that is pretty solid. You said that's on NVIDIA? Hold on. What time frame is that on? NVIDIA before the stock split a couple years ago was... Yeah. Yeah, Aladdin. Honestly, NVIDIA's still been nice. Right after the split, it kind of sucked for a minute, but it's still been nice. We just don't trade it as much as we used to be fair. I mean, this was something that was definitely a daily stock. I think really the only daily stocks that we still have are Tesla and Meta, for me at least. It may be NVIDIA for some people, but I just don't love how easily NVIDIA gives up. Like, if we're making a move, we're having a nice follow through to our direction, and NVIDIA's done, it's done. Like, there's no question about it. There's no time for you to, like, analyze, rethink. You just got to pretty much be prepared that when NVIDIA's done, it's out of here. It's not giving you a notice. So, and it was in the 700s. Yeah, Aladdin. When NVIDIA was in the 700s, it was a great time. It was a great time. The contracts were insane on that too, but either way. How about CRWV? So we already passed up CRWV, which makes me believe that we don't have anything on that, but I will go back and check it for you after we're done making the watch list. Let's see here. PLTR absolutely fell off a cliff, and this thing is making me sad that I did not catch it. Oh well. Let's see. We've got some more levels below where we are currently at. I need to see if those are valid or not. Okay, yeah. 134.27 on PLTR looks beautiful to the downside. I love that. Super easy targets too. Super realistic targets, first of all, and super actually easy to hit targets as well. that makes for a beautiful plan. So PLTR definitely staying on the watch list. Something that's actually probably my new favorite setup for tomorrow. And then Tesla's kind of just doing its thing, kind of just floating around here. We don't really have any setups on this, but also looks like the movement was pretty smooth. So I don't have anything on Tesla, but we do have quite a bit to put on the watch list for tomorrow. So we probably need to get that started right now. Let's see. All right, first things first, AMD. AMD, looking at the 192.27. We already broke that freaking after hours level. Oh well. 192.27 for a break to the downside. Targeting a move to the, what are we targeting? Obviously 192 that should be broken on the same candle as the entry here, but overall I really do have pretty easy room down to 190. Say 190.74 and then 190 to 190.74, then the 190 break for my final target. This will all be dependent on momentum that we see when we break this initial level. All right, I had to throw that in there because I don't like having targets that aren't super clear, but also it really is always going to just come down to the momentum. So AVGO, like I said, this one's going to end up going on the side watch, but I'm just doing it in alphabetical order here. AVGO looking at 287.11. 287.11. Support on the 4 hour for a break to the downside. Targeting a move to the next support at 286.17. Then the 286 break. If we are not fully scaled out by the 286 break, I will be using momentum as my final target. Momentum below 286 as my final target. There we go. Beautiful. Next up here, Google 270. This thing looks nice. Google looking at the 270 flat bottom now on the 4 hour for a breakdown. Targeting, we gotta look here below 270. So yeah, this one's gonna make me have a difficult time targeting something as well. Fantastic. We don't have any super clear target levels, so it looks like we're gonna have to use psychological levels and trends, which is not favorite, but it is what it is. Targeting a move to the 268 break. Then we have room on the 1 hour channel all the way down to 264.94. Good setup, unfortunately, relatively take it or leave it targets there. Yes. So, all right, next up, Hood. Looking at the 63 after hours low from Sunday for a possible early entry. The main level I am watching is the 62 92 support on the 1 year. Targeting a move to the 62 break. Let's see what trends we've got. 61.37 on the 1 hour. Got way too much room on the 30. All right. So the 1 hour trend is actually what I would give the most weight here. That is the most valid looking trend anyways. So we have room on the 1 hour downtrend to the 61.37. Well, actually, to 61.37. Beautiful. There's Hood. Next up here, we've got Meta. In the process of forming an H pattern on the higher time frames, looking at the low of day from today at 528.54 to get a head start on this momentum. Overall on this, I have room down to the 517.77 support, which is the bottom of the H pattern. In the meantime, I will be using momentum as in the meantime, I will be scaling out along the way using momentum as my final target. Okay, we will use the pre-market low from today for a first target on this, just so we can scale out of some. I don't want to say that I'm just solely going to be using momentum, because that is obviously very hit or miss and hard to make an actual risk plan off of for you guys. So my first target will be the pre-market low at 527.06, and after that I will be using that along the way. Using momentum until we see the final target. All right, so Meta in the process of forming an H pattern on the higher time frames. Looking at the low of day from today at 528.54 for entry to get a head start on this momentum. Overall on this, I have room down to this 517.77 support, which is the bottom of the H pattern. My first target is going to be the pre-market low at 527.06. And after that, I will be scaling out along the way using momentum until we see the final target. Obviously, if we lose that momentum, then that momentum is going to be the final target. But this is a trade that I think actually has a ton of potential if we don't completely botch it overnight. So obviously, it's going to end up just relying on what the market does tonight and tomorrow morning, but I really, really like that setup. We actually are getting to the point where we have too many setups that are looking good for tomorrow that we are going to have to cut out some setups that we probably don't want to have to cut out, but either way. Microsoft looking at the 354.46 low of day for a break to the downside. Targeting a move to an old support level that I have at 351.95. Below this, we have room down to the 350 break for my final target. It's actually barely tapping into that area that I was talking about where we may end up seeing some bounces. So that's solid. Then MSTR, this is going to go on the side watch, but I'm going to type it up here anyways. MSTR looking at the 118.40 support on the 4 hour for a break to the downside. Really have room on this down pretty easily to about 116. But overall, I think it's probably smart to just keep a pretty easy target here around 117.50. So targets will be updated as we get closer to this setup. Okay. MU, God, we have so much. Okay. MU is gonna have to go on the side watch as well, so that's fine. So MU looking at the 310 break. I would like to get an entry before 310 so we can actually play the 310 puts and take advantage of that. So looking at 310 for a break to the downside. THE, there we go. Break to the downside. Targeting a move to the next support levels at 309.55. 308.80, 307.65. Below this, we have another support that I will be looking at for a separate trade. Separate SEPE or SEPA. I think it's PA. I gotta look this up. I'm good with selling. Selling? Spelling. Yeah. SEPA. My bad. Looking at for a separate trade. Well, this we have another support that I will be looking at for a separate trade at 304.82. Here we go. NVIDIA. We're throwing a lot on here that are not going to happen tomorrow. Basically what I'm doing here is everything in the main watch is a possibility for tomorrow, and then everything that's going in the side watch is going to be something for you guys to look at throughout the rest of the week. So we usually don't get the opportunity to put basically a full week's worth of setups in the watch list, but I feel like today we do. NVIDIA looking at the 162.02, 180 day low for a break to the downside. Targets will be updated as we get closer to this level. All right, PLTR. Did we already? No, we didn't do PLTR. Okay. PLTR, looking at the 134.27 support for a break to the downside. Targeting a move to the 133.20 support. Below this, we have room down to 132.63. Okay, that is everything, I believe. So we're gonna go ahead and make a side watch section and separate all these. So we said what? AVGO side watch? Yes. AVGO goes under the side watch. Google, is that close? That is close. Okay. Hood, I believe, was side watch, right? Yep. All right. Meta is definitely main watch. Microsoft is main watch. MSTR is side watch. MU, side watch. NVIDIA, side watch. All right, so really for tomorrow, we have AMD, Google, Meta, Microsoft, PLTR. I'm going to go ahead and move Microsoft up here above AMD because I like that better than AMD. And I'm going to be moving Meta up here, actually above Microsoft now that I think about it. Then let's see here. I think the rest are kind of interchangeable. Google is a good looking setup. Do I like it better than AMD though? Actually, yes. AMD is slowly getting moved down here in the ranks. We're also kind of far on AMD now. All right, and then I'm fully expecting for absolutely freaking none of these to be here tomorrow morning because that is what they like doing to me. Take this time and make a nice watch list for everybody, and then in the morning, we absolutely have none of it that we had before, but either way. So I really don't like how this... Okay, here we go. And then literally everything is downside, so that is pretty simple here. I believe, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the watch list. So for those of you guys that are not in the floor, make sure you screenshot this. Do as you please with this watch list. I guess also click that first link in the description. Join up, trade with me and the team. We'd love to see you in there. But yeah, all right. We've got at least 10 minutes here for a Q&A. So you guys screenshot this, do your thing. I'm going to send this in chat right now. Let's see, tomorrow's watch list. All right. Do we have questions? I believe you guys had enough time to screenshot this, so it's going away in 3 seconds. All right, there it goes. Do we have any questions? I know Sassi wanted me to check out CRWV, so I'm going to do that real quick. Okay, yeah, I don't have anything on this, and I don't like it. This stock had pretty much, well, the volume isn't terrible today, but we've got really no setups here until we get down to 63.80. Really, that would be the next level I'm interested in, 63.80. 67.68 was a level that I liked. We broke it either at the end of day or after hours, though. We broke it towards the end of day. So that wouldn't have even been the way that we got there would not have even been something that I would have traded, so it's all right. Where did it go? Where did what go, Ward? Thank you, Ray. I just saw you spell checked for me. Meta also has a Head and Shoulders on the regular hours, daily and weekly. Got you, Ray. Yeah, I really like Meta's setup. I think that's probably our best looking one, to be honest. Or maybe not best looking one, but highest potential one. We got 0 questions. All right. That is surprising. I guess the people that are in here now are people that are at literally every single lesson. It's the same people, and it's awesome that you guys are always here. But yeah. All right then, guys and girls. We'll go ahead and wrap it up then. I hope you all have a great rest of your night. Let's have a beautiful day tomorrow. I'll talk to you first thing in the morning for pre-market review. Once again, if you're not in the... My dog hears me wrapping up the lesson and just immediately starts to... He knows that it's food time. What a guy. Anyways, if you're not in the floor, you want to trade with us, click the first link. Click the first link in the description. I will see you all.